Okay, here's our pre-show. Hope everybody's ready for this evening. We'll get started in just another minute. Hey, Rick. Good to see you here. And Dottie, joining us on YouTube. Hey, Donna and Joe. And Nancy. Hey. So glad you all could join us tonight. Hey, Leonard. Hello, Sharon. Good evening. Or good afternoon, I guess, in California. Or maybe it's evening by now there. After 6 o'clock, I guess. Hey, Robin, you almost ready? Guess what time it is? Hey, Karen and Steve. Nice to have you. Peter. Good evening, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 8 of Robin's Piano Bar, where the drinks and the food are virtual, but the piano playing is real. I'm your host, Larry Kosson, streaming live to you on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, LinkedIn, and Bandcamp. Tonight's episode is Wild and Crazy. And now, live from our own home, please welcome our favorite piano gal, Robin Spielberg.
Hello, and welcome to live stream number 176. So glad you are here. If you're joining for the first time, a very big warm welcome from me and from Larry and our crazy and wild kitty cats. It's still been a little chilly for the start of spring. Did some garden cleanup today. A few daffodils are blooming. Hope in the air. So tonight's theme, wild and crazy. Have you ever been wild and crazy? There are a lot of songs about being wild and crazy, or feeling wild, or feeling crazy, or feeling wild and crazy at the same time. So this was a fun one to put together. Hope everyone's doing okay. And yeah, here you all are. Hello, Karen and Steve. Thinking of you guys. All right, so it could be crazy but true if you get stuck between the moon and New York City. What do you need to do? Go ahead, shout it out. Fall in love. Yes. Crazy. Patsy Cline version. Crazy. Crazy for loving you. That's what she sings. Thanks, Leonard. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Hi there, Stephen and Nancy. Oh, thank you. All these hearts coming up. Fantastic. So, yes, crazy. I was thinking about crazy things. Someone, a friend of mine is visiting her brand new grandchild tomorrow, and I started thinking about babies as I was playing that. You know, babies came into my brain. And Larry, do you remember the crazy thing that I craved when I was pregnant?
I do.
Would you like to share that with our listeners, our viewers? Do you remember?
It was something like,
Do you remember?
Yeah, it was pancakes.
Yes, there was a pancake involved with what on top?
Potato salad.
Potato salad, and then on top of that?
Of course, the syrup, the maple syrup.
Yes, when I was pregnant, I thought, oh my gosh, I just invented the most amazing dish. It should be in every cafe, coffee shop, every menu in America. Pancakes with potato salad on top and maple syrup. Fantastic. I can't even imagine now eating such a thing, but man, was that good. What? Anyone out there have any cravings that were strange in your life, either pregnant or not, just something you wanted that was a strange food or a strange combination of foods that you no longer are interested in? I'd like to see. I would like to see. Hello, Greg. My old high school pals on from California. Nice to see you. So, yeah, let me know about your cravings. Love to hear all of that.
So we just have to send our apologies to the mental health professionals who are watching tonight, because I know they don't really like to use the term.
I'm not talking about crazy in a mental health way. I'm talking about acting, wild and crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, right?
No, I would never call anyone with a mental health condition crazy. That would simply not be right. So this is a different wild and crazy. And
like eating potato salad.
Like eating potato salad on top of pancakes
with maple syrup.
With maple syrup. Yeah, look, so Donna's with me. She's like, actually, I think it sounds good. And Harlan says, Peter's saying that in camping trip, he had peanut butter with butter also, cream cheese, and strawberry preserves. Ooh, I'm not sure about that.
Well, Donna's onto something, because, you can go to many places that serve chicken and waffles with maple syrup on it. So
it's true.
Potato salad's not really that far off the...
Yeah, I guess not. Okay, well, I'm feeling validated at this moment.
I just validated you.
Thank you. Yes. So in that song, Joni talks about the crazy as a crazy scene. Quit this crazy scene. And a lot of songwriters, right? A lot of bands talk about life on the road being crazy. Maybe you wonder about that. I don't know. I've had my own kind of crazy life on the road. I wrote about it and did an audiobook called Naked on the Bench, My Adventures in Piano Land, with a lot of stories of crazy stuff that happens on the road. There are a few things that are not in the book. Like as I was playing that song, I remember the time I was on tour with a group. I believe this was with Larry, Kathy, Ryan. We were on tour with Mother. It was a whole group of people. And we got to the venue, the theater, and the dressing rooms were under construction. So there was no place to change, right? And the audience, different people were already in the public restrooms. We didn't know what to do, and there was no real area backstage. So we saw that there were some trucks in the parking lot, and we actually crouched down and changed into our outfits behind the trucks, like covering for each other, just changing outside in the parking lot. It's a little crazy, right? I've been on the road where I got stuck in a snowstorm in Ohio, and the town ran the venue. It was government run, so they had closed the roads and closed the venue. And I was stuck in my hotel room for 3 days with only hotel vending machine food. Remember that?
I remember. What was your
Which has a better health value, the potato chips, or should I go for the Cheez-Its?
I was just going to say, what was your favorite item from the vending machine? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, there was no alcohol either. It was terrible. 3 days in that little hotel room with vending machine food. I was like, man, that's a little crazy. Oh, everyone's talking about some foods now. Your mother-in-law brought you cookies, and that's nice. I love that. Yeah, I'm glad I got to play this song, River, on a time that it's not Christmas. It's kind of nice. Mm-hmm.
Peter was asking about Fig Newtons, but I don't...
Yeah, Fig Newtons and apple juice, kind of my go-to when I'm recording. I don't know why that is, but it is like my lucky thing. Speaking of lucky things, maybe you think this is crazy, but you might have heard that this is the year of the tiger in Chinese astrology. So this is, I am a tiger, born the year of a tiger, and actually this is the year of the water tiger, and I'm a water tiger. So I didn't want to take any chances. I'm wearing this red string around my wrist. I'm trying to keep it on the entire year. We'll see if it wears off, but it's for good luck, right? And I have tiger's eye beads on. Do those count? I don't know. I'm just kind of tiger obsessed for the year. I don't want to take any chances. Apparently, if you're a tiger, you have to be humble in this year because you're not supposed to be pressing your luck.
We have 2 tiger kittens. Does that help?
I think that counts.
Okay.
The more tigers, the better.
They're the ones going wild and crazy tonight because of the cat food I bought for them.
Thank you. I'm glad you like the way I Robinized that. I have fun playing it. Oh, so, and Leonard, you also complimented. Okay, we'll have to keep a list there, Larry. We like to keep a list of what resonates with people, and apparently people liked the way I played that. Maybe I'll record it one day. I don't think I have recorded that one. No, I haven't. So, here's one. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Right? What are the lyrics? She's wild again. A whimpering child again. And crazy and wild. I think both in the same song. I remember an Edie Gourmet version of that song for some reason that my parents used to listen to. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that song at all. So
you don't? It
No.
was like yeah. Was it Robert and Edie Gourmet had some kind of show together?
Since I don't know the song, I can't point out where
Oh, Nancy, thank you for sharing my music with people. I appreciate that. Whenever you click the share button on your page, that allows all of your friends and contacts on Facebook to watch it, or you can post the link anywhere. We appreciate that. If anyone's new to watching us, thank you. Welcome joining us. We've got Larry here on lights, sound, camera angles, commentary, all the production, and me, I'm Robin on piano. This is Victoria, my Steinway, and tonight's theme is wild and crazy. Remember that from Saturday Night Live?
We are two wild and crazy guys.
Yes, Steve Martin. I used to laugh so hard at that. I remember it was the 70s, so I was babysitting a lot on Saturday nights. And I used to really hope that the people I was babysitting for wouldn't come home until 1 in the morning, because that's when SNL ended. It was 11:30 till 1. And boy, did I love it when two wild and crazy guys came on. I laughed so hard. It made me really laugh. So nice. So, what's next?
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, Tom Bailey's here. Hey, Tom.
hi, Tom. Are you working tonight? Are you listening to me on the ride home? Tom, who's in South Carolina, is the busiest piano man we know in the state of South Carolina. He is playing all over the place. And I know, Tom, that if I had to phone a friend and ask for a chord, you'd be my number one call. I'd call you. Yeah. Piano players helping out other piano players. Yes, we should have our own hotline of
Yeah, Tom says he's driving, so
looking for a chord.
He can't see us, but he
Looking
can
for a
hear
chord
us.
in all the wrong places. Sometimes Larry says, "What are you looking for?" I'm in like my sheet music drawer. Look, I said, "I'm just missing a chord. I'm looking for a chord."
Looking for a note.
Well, this one I should know. I shouldn't have trouble with the notes. This is the title track to my album, Love Story. It is Where Do I Begin? And I believe it has the word crazy in it.
Where do you begin?
Where do you begin? A minor.
Okay.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. Nothing like hearing Patti LuPone sing that one. That was absolutely fantastic that I got to see that in person. And so, oh, really? You were listening to Whisperings and you were hearing which song? Which song is she talking about?
This song.
Really?
What you just played.
I'm actually surprised. Whisperings doesn't normally play covers, but maybe they did. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Glad you liked the love story theme. Bewitched is from Pal Joey. Thank you, Thomas, for letting us know. Appreciate that.
Tom, just stop texting while you're driving, okay?
Yeah, don't text while you drive.
Makes
Maybe
me
he's
very
using
nervous.
voice activation.
I hope so. Hope he's being careful.
You know, when you're young and you've got that crazy love. You know what I'm talking about, Lair?
I don't remember it.
You don't remember? Because there was no life before me, right?
Right.
Like it was just kind of erased.
I remember our crazy love early on.
Yeah.
How about that?
That obsessive thing. I remember, like, is he going to call? Is he not going to call? Should I wait a little bit? Should I call him? Is he going to call me?
That was all before cell phones.
It was. I had to be home to get the call.
I know you were home a lot because you seemed to answer the phone every time I called.
I was not home a lot.
I'm teasing.
I was in New York City a lot playing the piano,
I know
that's
you
for
were.
sure.
I know.
I know.
You would invite me to come and watch you play.
Did you come
I did. Don't you remember?
in New York?
Yeah, in New York, but also in New Jersey. You had a couple of gigs in New
Oh, I
Jersey.
had a crazy gig. Yeah, talk about crazy. Wasn't there one like was it not Secaucus? It was around there, like kind of a seedy. It was a nice hotel, but the actual town was a little weird. Do you remember that place?
I do, but something reminds me like that there was that place where they like would imitate like medieval times. It was right near there or something.
Oh,
like
you're right. You're right.
Right.
You pay an exorbitant amount of money to eat with your hands and kind of like
Right.
yeah. It was called I think it was called Medieval Times, and you went and you ate with your hands.
Yeah, I wonder if that place is still around.
Everything was kind
I
of
don't know.
all the food was made on the fire, and you kind of went back in time, medieval times, and apparently it was a lot of fun. I never did it, but I know people who were actors, out of work actors, who would get jobs working at these places and dressing up in medieval costumes to, be servers and hosts and hostesses at
That's
medieval
wild.
times.
That's wild and crazy, right?
That's a little wild and crazy.
And they would have like jousting or something, right?
They would have what? Yes, jousting. People
Knights
would they put on the
yeah.
knights. Yeah, the actors would put on the.
Right.
Well, they put all of their fencing training to use. A lot of actors have to take fencing, so they got to put it to use and do the jousting. And we probably should have stopped making fun of it. We probably should have gone one night and just had fun, just join the
I
fun.
don't ever remember making fun of it. I just
I did.
remember. Okay, I remember you did.
I thought, how low can you go? You're a serious actor, and here you are.
But I think the place where you performed was like right
It
near
was
there
across
or
the
something?
street.
Okay. Right. So I guess
think people came there from the whole medieval experience and then they came to the piano bar, and it was a whole
and there were like
other thing.
knights in full armor that came to the
No,
piano
they
bar
didn't.
afterwards.
But some people did dress up. I think I probably could have. I missed an opportunity there. I probably could have worn some very creative costumes at that piano job and gotten away with it. Yeah. But for now, yeah, fun but cheesy and expensive. Yes.
So the things we remember about our
Oh,
early.
Stephen went. He said he went to medieval times and had a lot of fun. You see, we lost out. And Thomas said he went to one in Orlando. And Peter went. There's a medieval manor in Boston. Look, it's a whole thing.
Of course,
It's a whole thing.
So we know this.
Larry,
The Renaissance Fair thing, the whole
let's
Ren Fair
put
thing
it on
was-
the bucket list. Apparently, we need to do this.
I mean, we.
I
know
think I
it's a
have the
thing.
outfits. I've got lots of costumes. So
I mean, we
I could actually dress up and go.
we live not far from one of the largest Ren fairs in the country.
Yes, Pennsylvania has a big Renaissance fair. But what's the festival we're going to in May? One of our clients is playing there.
The Fairy Festival.
The Fairy Festival. Gotta love Pennsylvania. Can you believe it? We have our very own Fairy Festival.
It's not spelt with a Y. It's spelt with an I-E.
Yes, like little fairies in the garden. You can go there, and there are classes on how to make a fairy garden. Little kids come and they buy wings. They wear wings. They paint their wings. There are poetry readings. Yep, organic produce for sale. All kinds of fairy stuff. I can't wait to go. I'm excited about it. But here we go. This next song is from the band Poco. Remember them? P-O-C-O. And it's called Crazy Love. favorites, a fade out song. There's no end. Not such a great play of it, but that was a really fun movie. And 9 to 5, crazy jobs. So now you've got to tell me about your crazy jobs. Who's had a really crazy job? Who's had the craziest job? Yeah, Donna, good. I hope you were singing it out. 9 to 5. One of my most crazy jobs, I've had a lot of crazy jobs. Most of them have been like through an acting agency. You know, I had to dress up as a cheerleader and help open up a shopping center. Working at the car show, playing the piano at the car show, playing the piano at the boat show. I did have this job. It was a temp job that lasted a few months. I really didn't like it. I was given the job. I was the person that handed out the death certificates at the hospital in Newark, New Jersey. And I was a very organized person, and I was probably pretty good at it, but I really hated that job. It was very depressing. Everyone was crying. Like, everyone who came to see me was really sad, you know. So, didn't like that job. You have any crazy jobs, Blair?
Does the one I have now count?
You mean the made-up job that we made for you in the dining room?
I'm talking about the other one. My
being an agent?
Yeah.
It is kind of a crazy job. It doesn't quite turn off. Being an agent is a strange job. You ever see the movie Jerry Maguire? It's kind of like that. You get calls in the middle of the night. People miss their flights. They have to get there. It's a lot of crazy. Definitely. You have to laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. Crazy jobs.
There's a tear running down the side of my cheek as we speak.
Yes. As I had a teacher in high school who used to say, "This is the world's smallest record player playing the world's smallest recording of My Heart Cries for You."
Well,
whenever someone complained.
My job is one of those jobs where everybody sees the result,
yes,
but nobody sees how the sauce...
Well, that's why sometimes I like to post the behind the scenes here on my Patreon, because you see all the cameras and all, but you don't see.
But nobody sees how the sausage is made, and it's probably a good thing.
They don't want to know, Larry.
They don't want to know how the sausage is made.
No, sometimes the behind the scenes things are probably better kept out of the public eye.
It's why
and quiet, but it can be pretty weird though, right?
Yeah, it's probably why in restaurants the kitchen is usually behind closed doors.
Look at all the jobs Peter's had: electric assembler, grill cook. Yeah, I've had a lot of jobs.
Well, I was a professional photographer, and Robin knows this. When we first met, I photographed some pretty
weird things.
Wild and crazy things. I'll admit
you
this.
You had to photograph medical devices, and when we cleaned out your studio, what did we find?
Well, can we just go back before we talk about
weird
what
props.
we found? Can we go back and talk about where my last studio before we moved here was?
Where was it?
In a former condom factory.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was a former factory.
Right. It was a factory that manufactured condoms.
But your studio, when we cleaned it out, we found all these weird props that people left behind, like epidural kits.
Yes, it's because I worked,
You worked,
so
had to photograph the medical stuff.
I was working in northern New Jersey, where it was mostly pharmaceutical and medical companies and food companies. Remember all the food stuff?
Oh gosh, I loved it when you had all the Smartie necklaces and M&Ms you had to photograph. Those were good. And the cheese. You photographed big cheese
big wheels of cheese, yeah, because
there was so much cheese. We used to go around the neighborhood with the wagon and give people cheese.
Remember,
they couldn't take it back.
I worked for the only licensed importer of Parmigiano Reggiano.
Right, it's expensive cheese.
Yeah,
but how much of it you can't go through like a 50-pound wheel of it.
But once they brought it to the studio, they couldn't restock it. So they had to give it away.
Cheese for everyone.
Everyone got cheese that week.
We gave away a lot of cheese.
Our neighbors loved us that week.
Well, this is crazy but true. Only want to be with you. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. That's true. That can happen, especially when your wheels. I used to notice that when I was driving, not the car I have now, the car I had before this car, when I was driving like at exactly 53 miles per hour, my wheels would kind of hum in G flat. Now that would definitely go along with the song, Don't Let the Sound of Your Own Wheels Drive You Crazy. It did drive me crazy. I used to try to get exactly to 53 miles per hour so I could hear that. Anyway, never had another car that did that, Lair.
That it was probably that manufacturer's intention.
I don't know.
That at 53 miles an hour it would play G flat.
I don't know, but apparently G flat is like the vibration of the universe or something. So I was kind of happy about that. What am I looking for?
That was a well-built car, except for the fact that certain young drivers that we know took the mirrors off a few times.
Yes.
We replaced the mirrors on that car a few times. It was
the Jetta, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, young drivers going into the garage. Oh, not just the garage, just parking.
Yeah. That was a good car for her to learn on.
Well, you know what? Those are what car repair shops are for. We were very supportive of car repair shops. Let's keep them, let's keep them employed, busy.
Brett just joined us.
We were very supportive of car repair shops. Hello, Brett.
Hi, Brett.
You like Take It Easy? Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. So the next one doesn't have the word crazy in it, but it's a little bit of a crazy song.
Well,
so I thought,
yeah, right.
Got to put it in.
The title just says it all, right?
So, yeah. And, the thing is, maybe it's a little bit of a crazy song. I personally admit to understanding the character singing this song. This is from the musical Paint Your Wagon. Can you guess what this is?
I know what it is because I have the set
You don't
list.
count. You don't get to decide. I mean, you don't get to guess. All right. Any guesses?
So can I just say, while we're waiting for people to guess, because Brett just joined us late, he may not know that the theme tonight is wild and crazy.
Wild and crazy.
Right.
All right. So this is the tune. Sue said her chat disappeared. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Book of Faces. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I know about the piano though. Go ahead and put your chat back in. This is I Talk to the Trees. Anyone know that? Thomas already knew. Yeah, he knew.
Of course he knew it. Yeah.
I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me. I talk to the stars. They never hear me. Yeah. It's a great song. I've talked to my flowers. Sometimes I tell them, why aren't you growing? Are you not happy there? Should I transplant you over there? I definitely talk to my plants. a little bit strange. That's cool from West Side Story. And I remember when I had the songbook for West Side Story, and my teacher taught me all the songs in the book. I was afraid of this one. I thought it was really scary. And I remember the part in the movie where the gang is like, play it cool, play it cool. I was afraid. They scared me. The gang scared me. The song scared me. Song still scares me a little bit. If you haven't seen the new revival, the new version of West Side Story on film yet, I believe it's on all streaming services. Do watch. It is pretty darn great. Darn great.
It's up for an Academy Award.
Brett wants to know if the flowers talk back. No, but they grow.
Brett, you already knew the answer to that.
I talk to them. I talk to my cats. I talk to the flowers. I talk to the trees. I'm sure I look like an absolute crazy person out there. I do a lot of composing in the garden. I write a lot of music when I'm mulching and weeding and my mind is wandering, and sometimes I'm singing or humming out loud. And because I have to be careful, I had a few skin cancers. I have a lot of sunscreen on and a lot of protective clothing. So I probably look a bit on the crazy side as I'm gardening.
We talked a little bit about this in the beginning of the stream about the show, how we have to be careful how we use that term. Because
so if you're late to watching it, we're not talking about mental wellness at all or mental health in this show. We would never call anyone who had mental illness or mental health issues crazy. This is crazy, like wild and crazy. Wild, free, fun, crazy times, that kind of thing. Just want to put that disclaimer out there so no one is upset. And I also want to tell you something else tonight. I wasn't sure whether or not to tell you. Larry's like, should you tell them? I'm not sure. I am going to tell you.
Now they're going to say, wait. Now they're going to say, tell us. Please tell us.
Yes, I have something to tell you. It's no one else knows. I think one person on this stream knows who's watching. So I do not have any concerts this entire month of March. So really appreciate your tips, your donations, keeping us going and afloat through all of this. Don't need to tell you that. There are a number of you who have joined my Patreon team, and that's been wonderful. Helps keep the piano in tune and all of this running and us running up and going. But I do have some concerts coming up in April. I sent out a newsletter. Things are starting to open up again. We are very optimistic about shows in person in the future and all of those good things. But I'm keeping my Patreon going because I am now involved in an endeavor that is rather expensive. And I'm taking a big gamble here, investing myself into it, all of myself, as well as my financial self. All right, I'll tell you. So the project is orchestrations. Orchestrations of my works. For many of my pieces, when I was composing them, I imagined them being played for full orchestra. But the undertaking of writing out 40, 50 parts for a 40, 50-piece orchestra and getting that all transcribed and actually done just seemed insurmountable, never mind finding an orchestra who would play my work, and extremely expensive. So for a few years, we were looking for orchestras or maestras who might be interested in taking that on, and haven't really found those opportunities in that way. So like most of my projects, I'm going DIY, do it myself. I am working with an orchestrator in Philadelphia named Lewis. He's a wonderful, wonderful composer himself and arranger. We are co-arranging. The first one we are doing is the piece Ireland. It's a 9-minute, 10-minute piece. And it's sounding great so far, just epic. The score is it's not finished yet. The score is already 32 pages. It's for full orchestra. I'm hoping that once all the parts, everything is written, that we'll work really hard to manifest it, that an orchestra will be interested in recording this piece. And then, of course, the next step, my next big bucket list dream is to actually play my pieces live with an orchestra. So for the people who are supporting me, have continued to support me on Patreon, That is my main focus of the money that is raised there. In exchange, you get free sheet music every month, vintage posters, CDs, signed vinyl, backstage passes, T-shirts, lots of stuff. And, of course, those people on Patreon will be the first to actually hear the orchestrations. If you haven't checked out my Patreon page, it is patreon.com.
I just posted
I'm glad that...
I'll put it up again.
Yes, Larry, you can put that up. And Sharon, I'm glad thank you for sharing my excitement. Nancy, Stephen. Yes, the college where I teach has an orchestra. So a lot of the orchestras, just so you know, really love to play the great music by the great dead men, classical composers. It is really not so easy, especially as a female composer, to get work actually performed. Really tough. It's 200 years after Clara Wisick was born, and Clara Wieck, I should say. Clara Wieck is her real name. Married name, Schumann. She's just getting her works performed now. I really don't want to wait till 200 years after I'm dead. I really want this to happen in my lifetime. So I'm just going to make it happen myself. I know you're with me and you're supportive, and I'll be sharing tidbits with my Patreon team as they become available. And if you have a favorite piece of mine that you would love to see orchestrated, let me know. Shoot off an email to robin@robinspielberg.com. The comments here kind of disappear in 24 hours, so always best to send an email. robin@robinspielberg.com. If there's a piece of mine that you really love, that you would love to hear orchestrated with sweeping strings and horn section, woodwinds, all the percussion, all the things.
Tubas.
Do not forget the tubas. They are muy importante. magical song. Yes, Peter, you've heard this song for decades. Never, I know, I didn't know the title either. Great song, though, right? It's by Rick Davies and Roger Hudson. Yes. So we had St. Patty's Day recently, and I didn't get to play this one, so I want to play it now. My Wild Irish Rose. I have a wild rose growing in my garden. I was really pleased it came up. It's extremely thorny, though. Beautiful flowers, lots of little ones. I forgot what you call that. Leonard, you probably know. It's when you've got a lot of little flowers, then it's a big rose bush. But the thorns, man, pruning that thing. I think double or triple gloves are in order. Yes, Sharon, Supertramp, thank you. That's right, Supertramp. Who plays flute for your college?
Patricia does. She's.
Oh. Well, I probably should approach them. I know people there. I know Gretchen at your college and Randy, right? I know people. Our daughter went to your college prep for music. So, yeah, that's our local. That's one local
Patricia's
orchestra.
one of our local viewers. She
maybe you
in
can help us,
town.
right? All right, this is a really sweet song, My Wild Irish Rose. This was written in 1899. Oh, before that, it was renewed. The copyright was renewed in 1899. Look at this time. You remember Dennis James singing My Wild Irish Coat? Yes. Oh, these are great memories. I really love when, Leonard, I did trim it back really hard. Hard pruning last year on that wild rose. It was spreading like crazy. I did trim it back. But it is pretty, so I kind of felt bad. I didn't want to pull it out. I love when things just kind of volunteer and come up. Anyway, I was about to say, I really love the community that we've created here. And I love that when I play music that the songs I play stir memories in you. It really makes me very happy when that happens. And this is my happy place. I always feel so much better sitting here at the piano. And thank you for not leaving me alone here at the piano. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for allowing me to keep you company, for allowing Larry and I into your homes, into your living rooms, or if you're Thomas Bailey, into your automobiles while you're driving. Wherever you are, thank you for letting me accompany you this evening with whatever you were doing. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, on all these 5 different streaming platforms for just an evening, a 45-minute set of relaxing solo piano music, a little classical, a lot of original, some traditional. I hope to see you. I'm going to close with this song that has crazy in the lyrics, and this is from Sheena Easton, For Your Eyes Only. Wasn't this the one of the songs for 007?
It was a
theme
song for a James Bond movie.
Yeah. Was it by the same name?
The same title.
Okay. I'm not as good at my James Bond films as maybe you are. So thanks to all of you, and I'll leave you with this one. Have a great rest of your evening.
All right, Carmel, it's finally your turn. Take us home.
Hey, Carmel. Say goodnight to everybody. That's right. Good girl.